G'day! While we're filming our second episode of a practical camping video, I thought it was the best time to finally do a review of our Coleman NORTHSTAR 10-person darkroom tent. We've used this tent for over 2 years now. To start with, it's the size we wanted. It's got 3 rooms, and we can use the middle room. We were a family of 4 with 2 kids, so we can use the middle room as a living space. And we like the idea, the whole front of the tent being converted into an awning. So as you can see, you can lift the whole fly, and the whole front, the whole width of it, it converts into an awning. So you've got a massive shady living space that protects you from the weather. So if we come over here, you can see that on this side I've undone the zipper, so to show you that there's an option to open that up. So you've got an open side, or as shown on the other side, you can leave it closed to give you some protection and privacy. And you also have the option of taking both ends down to close off the windows and leave the middle one, so you've got an awning just on the entrance alone. And the beauty about this tent is, as I said, it's a darkroom model of Coleman. So as you can see, if you look closer, the inside of the fly is coated with this black layer, and it gives you that really dark room inside if you shut everything, which I'll show you later. And the beauty about this tent as well is not only does it have an awning on the side, you've got an awning on both sides, you've got entrances on every side of the tent. We've got 4 vents. This is part of the good ventilation of the overall design and ventilation of the tent. And this is very important because summer or winter, cold weather or hot weather, you need that really nice ventilation to give it a circulation of air around the tent, within the tent. So if it's cold in winter, you want that ventilation so your body heat and all the heat inside the tent doesn't produce that much moisture in the tent, which you don't want. And in summer, obviously, it keeps you cool. The material of the tent is, the canvas is, it's more heavy duty than your standard tent, under $500. So this one is better quality. The zippers and the mesh is better quality, you know, nice quality seams and stitches. The floor is very heavy duty. As you can see, it's waterproof, really tough, way better than your normal tent. And you've got things like your allocations for power cords. So whether you're camping in a powered site or not, you will use this guy here, because you can, if you've got solar power or any sort of lighting that requires a cable, you can run through it here. There's another one by the entrance there, and you've got a couple here as well. So you've got one here through the room if you want power through the room, as well as the other room over there. So let's go back to the main entrance and we'll walk through here, and I'll show you the different features of the tent from this side. So as we enter, we've obviously got, like any other tent, we've got the mesh, and we've got the option for a solid ball if you want to cover it up. And as we enter, we can see that we've got storage on this side straight away, so that's pretty handy. And we've got another storage compartment on this side here, so by the entrance again. So that's the only storage we have in this side. And as looking up on the ceiling, you can see that it's all ventilated, it's all mesh, so you can see that good ventilation going on there. Let's walk into one of the rooms. So as you can see, we've opened up the door, and looking down here, you can see that they've even put this mesh, which I believe is part of the design of the ventilation again. And that ventilation that I was talking about, so here you go. If you open that up, you can see you've got a nice breeze going on there. I've opened this up, so basically this room I've opened up for you so you can see how it looks like. You got your awning there. I've opened up the door. Now in terms of hooks for your lights or fans, there's kind of minimal hooks really. So if you look in this room, you've got not a hook as such, but you've got these things that you actually pull down as part of setting up the tent. You've got these little things here, which you can utilize as you know, for hanging stuff. Oh, and in this room you've got some storage as well. I forgot to mention that. So same as the storage over there, the storage for that room. And on the other room you've got pretty much the same hooks available to you on the sides, up there. And unfortunately in this room you don't have any storage, as you can see, not like the other room for some reason. In the middle room there's not much going on in terms of hooks. There's nothing I can find, so that's one of the disadvantages that I found. So as you saw earlier in the video, you've seen how easy it is to set up, and that's one of the main reasons why we picked this tent. The best part of this tent, I think, which is unique, is the darkroom technology that it has. So I'll shut it off in a minute and you'll see how dark it is inside. But the advantage of that is you can sleep in. Like, it will be in the middle of the day and it'll be really dark. And especially if you've got kids, it's awesome that they can sleep, or everyone can sleep in the morning. It shields quite a lot of heat from the sun, which we did notice compared to our previous tent. So that's a bonus as well. Now the only thing with the dark room is during the day, if you open it up like so, not a problem. But if you shut some areas, you can see it will be quite dark. So even during the day, you may need to turn on the light. Going back to the whole front being a covered area, I think that's one of the best things of this tent as well, because if it's raining, if you get rained in and you can't go anywhere and you don't have another living space, this is your living space. The overall design of the tent, including the ventilation, is really good. It makes a huge difference both winter and summer, so I really appreciate that. I think that's something that's unique. The tent says it's rated for 100 km/h winds. We haven't been stormed in this tent as yet, so I can't say anything, but it is quite sturdy. In terms of rain, we've been rained in. There was a night when it poured really hard. We were bone dry inside the tent, so I think the tent held up really well. So if there's any improvements I can suggest to this tent, is how they designed the zipper on both this door and the other one, and I'll show you why. If I shut that, this zipper ends in that corner, this one ends on that corner too, and there's nowhere it will go but that corner. And normally your tent is angled, like it's curved like this all around, so you can position the zipper wherever you want it to be. So not a big deal at all, but just worth mentioning that it ends here, so every time you want to open and shut it, you gotta bend down and do that. The other suggestion I can make is definitely put some sort of hooks within the middle room, so if you've got a place to hang your lights or your fan. In this room, if you remember, there's no storage. So as promised, I'll show you how dark it is inside in the middle of the day. I've shut everything. Go and have a look. So obviously you can't see anything, but here we are, and this is how dark it is. Overall, we're pretty happy with the tent. Will we recommend it and buy it again? Yes. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.